Got a brother over here
Peace
that's
and black power.
very knowledgeable. He gives his perspective of religion, Christianity, and whatever, who you
Islam,
pray
Buddhist,
to.
whoever you know what
You
I'm
know,
saying?
you
Yeah.
pray to your ancestors, or you praying to God, whoever.
I'm gonna get into that too. What our views is on God.
Okay.
Cause I look at it like this. Every person of color,
Excuse me. What's your name, bro?
Lil Pat.
Okay, there we go.
Lil
Little
Pat.
Pat.
You know what I'm saying?
Go run it down to me, man. To us.
Alright, I'm gonna start off by saying our people out here, we need to stop calling ourselves black. You know what I'm saying? Cause black is a color, and grammar wise, black any color is always used as an adjective. So it's to describe somebody. It's not a physical or it's not what you are. Your nationality, technically, we all, if you are a person of color, or they like to say we black or brown, people of color are considered Moors. We are Moors. By definition, we are Moors. Moor, you can go look it up. The Moor Science Temple. You know what I'm saying? Noble Drew Ali was the prophet they claim, and I give credit to them too, because they one of the people that brought us out of the dark, that we just came out of the information age, and everybody should be woke. People say I just woke up, you know what I'm saying? It's not literally I'm sleeping and I'm waking up. You waking up into consciousness.
Right.
You finally
That's
aware.
what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to wake. I'm trying to see, who do I supposed to pray to?
Here you go, this. We've been walking around praying to this Jesus, this man, nothing but a man, and quite frankly, we don't know
and they got a white man up there.
We don't know if the man even walked this earth. It's a lot of controversy about that, but and this is the white man's objective, because they know that black is dominant and light or white is recessive. So I got a metaphor. You get a cup of coffee and it's dark at first. It's dark and strong. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
When you add sugar and cream to it, it makes it turn lighter.
Right.
It makes it weaker.
Right.
So black is dominant and white is recessive.
Okay.
Or it's weak. You know what I'm saying? So the white folks knew that they weren't nowhere near physically or mentally stronger than the black race or the original man of this planet, original woman. Because they couldn't physically take us over. In order to control a mass amount of people, you have to do it mentally. You can't do it physically because first of all, you outnumbered. Second of all, you nowhere near as strong as these people. You can call them natives, native of this planet. The Aboriginal man or the Aboriginal, meaning the original. I like to take this quote from the Bible. It say, we made in God's image and likeness. If we understand or overstand that the first people here, the indigenous people here first were of color, and if we were made in God's image and likeness, then that means God must be that color or similar to.
Okay. Right. Right.
So if that's the case, we already established that we were the first people here. We came up with everything.
Because like how they say white people came was like they stayed in caves or something.
Yeah, white people come from black people. They were at a point in time black or of color. People in Africa kicked them.
Where you get caveman.
Yeah, they kicked them out. You hear me? Cause they kicked them out of Africa, and then people went up north. It was an ice age. They stayed in the caves. You stand in the caves for not getting the sunlight that you need. Because sunlight give you vitamin D, I believe. And without that vitamin, that make a person more aggressive and more vicious and just really out of control. So that's why these white folks got so much hate in them. First of all, they don't get enough sunlight. That's off the rip.
All right. Well, when they get something like they have to use creams and shit.
Yeah, that shit. Matter of fact, that shit. That's what give us skin cancer. So, it's called sunscreen. Yeah, they made that. That shit wasn't made for people of color. You don't need sunscreen because your body has melanin in it, and melanin you absorb the sunlight instead of it actually burning you absorbing it. It make you stronger. That's why I didn't like the fact that Superman get to go up in the sky and get his energy from the sun because he white.
Okay.
They basically showing you what a black man is in that movie of Superman because black folks get they energy from the sun. White folks hate the sun. That's why they moved us so far away. You know, Egypt was directly along the equator. And there was no way in hell white folks could survive in that type of environment. So when they went up in the caves, it became a survival of the fittest. Whoever could get rid of their melanin or dark skin, whoever could get rid of it, survived over the years, over the centuries. And whoever couldn't, they died off because of the environment that they was in. It was cold. They didn't have no sunlight from staying in the caves, and that's how how they end up having so much hair on their body. The sun wasn't there to burn it off. You know what I'm saying? So, goddamn me, it's straight like that. You know what I'm saying? But I put it like this: everybody is born with spirituality. Ain't nobody born with a religion. Religion is something that you had to have been taught. So therefore, I like to say, their definition of God, man is greater than God because without man, you wouldn't even have an existence. You wouldn't even have a knowledge of God's existence. So somebody had to tell you. Somebody had to put this book in your hand for you to sit up here and take Christianity as your belief. And that's another thing, belief. There's a difference between belief and knowing. Belief, you have to walk on a line of faith. When you know something, it's proof, it's factual, it's been proven.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This cross, it's only two places where this cross resides. On the top of a church and on the top of a grave.
Okay.
And what I say like that, people that's in the grave, they dead. And people that's in the church, they mentally dead. Because they sitting here listening to these pastors.
You say people that's in the church is mentally dead?
Mentally dead.
Oh, really?
Because they got this cross hanging on the top of their church.
Right.
You know, and these people, I say it like this.
You have a million people saying this. Yeah.
Listen to me.
People out here
honestly though,
because you gotta let me talk. It's gonna be a lot of comments, a lot of debating.
Look, that's
what it's for.
You gotta straight tell me, if your Messiah was to return, do you think that nigga want to see a motherfucking cross? That nigga don't want to see no cross. So why wear this shit around your neck? You wearing death.
That's where he was hanging on.
This symbolized death.
Where he got killed.
That ain't no good. I wouldn't want to see no cross.
I can believe that. What? Because that like symbolizing death because he got
killed on
killed on the cross.
That
he got nailed to it and everything. Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
I put it like this.
That do kind of raise a red flag when you think about it.
Yeah, you don't want to see that when you
come
back.
Like that, that do symbolize the death of Christ.
And another thing, I'm gonna put it like this. I'm gonna get into the resurrection of Jesus the Christ. They said he rose on the third day. Okay, he died on a Friday. It's known as Good Friday. If you go from Friday to Saturday, that's 24 hours. From Saturday to Sunday, that's 48 hours.
Okay.
3 days is a total of 72 hours. Correct?
Correct.
So, how the hell did he rise on the third day if it was only a total time period from Friday to Sunday, which is 48 hours? Do the math. You know what I'm saying? The resurrection was just a story. The resurrection comes from Egypt.
I'm saying, so hold on, what you saying? Like he couldn't rise in 48 hours?
No, the story tells us
3 days.
the story says 3 days. He died on Friday and rose on the Sunday.
Right, okay.
That's ridiculous because if it was 3 days, he would have rose on Monday.
Right.
It don't even matter if it went all the way to 11:59 p.m. Sunday night.
It don't even say like something like on Mondays you supposed to rest or something. It's like
It's Sunday. You rest on the Sabbath. That come from God.
Mondays you rest.
No, cause
that's why the barbershop's closed on Monday.
No, nigga.
I don't know.
It come from. You gotta let me talk.
I got you out here. Go ahead, man.
Look, Jesus. It took him. I mean, it took God. It took God 7 days to create the earth.
Right.
And make it and mold it into the way He wanted it. You supposed to rest on the Sabbath. You know, the day that God rested.
That was considered a Monday.
No, it was the seventh day. It was Sunday. That's why you off on Sundays.
Okay.
You know, but it wasn't. It was 7 days. The seventh day would be Saturday. Technically, but Christians go to church and worship on Sunday. But you see a lot of other churches, they go to church on Saturday because that's the seventh day. That's the day that God would have been rested on, you know. But that shit is some bullshit. This God in this Bible, this is not the true God. This is an imaginary God. That's straight imaginary. Somebody who don't reveal itself to you, how can you have faith in that? How can
you say
it's a mystery God. Christianity worshiping they worshiping the devil.
Written by man.
Yeah, this book got a copyright date on it. Right. All of them. If you got a copyright date, that means that it wasn't just motherfuckers just act like this God handed this book out the sky to them and said, "Here, listen to this."
Right.
Hell no. Your white slave master gave you this book in the time of servitude. It was to give you hope. And the black pastors, since it was segregated, the blacks were teaching the blacks in the churches.
Okay, say that again. You said they were given to slave masters, or given to the slaves.
In the time of servitude. All biblical religions, damn near, Islam and Christianity, was given to a people in the time of servitude.
Okay.
In this Bible, it allows people to have slaves. You know, it's a whole damn near 2 pages written about slavery. You know what I'm saying? And this is why the white folks followed it. They actually believed that God allowed them to have slavery. I put it this way: the Romans, they didn't want to get rid of their traditions, so they incorporated it into the Bible. Constantine brought the cross. First, it wasn't even like this. It was made like it looked like a P with an X across it in the middle. That's what the first sign looked like. And on the sign it said, I can't even remember. It said something. It called some Cito, which means with this sign we shall conquer. In order to control a mass group of people, you have to do it mentally. They couldn't do it physically because we outnumber them. I say it all the time, how the hell can 1/4 of the world population control 4/5 of it? Yeah. 4/4. So how it's by religion. Religion is the fucked up. This is what fucks our people up. Them going to church, giving their last to the thing and hope that somebody gonna give them some money from them donating their money to the church for tithes.
And so what do you think, like, we are? Do you have Christians, you got Catholics, you know, the Jews, you got Hebrews?
I believe we should pray to our ancestors because they are the ones that's watching over us.
Okay, explain.
All right, check me out. You give your ancestors wealth, and they'll give you wealth in return. You help them out. You know what I'm saying? It's just like here. They got laws they gotta follow. They got rules and shit, and they got, you know what I'm saying? It's a whole government. They got police forces when you die. You know, it's called We live in the third dimension. Everything here is 3D. In order for us to vibrate, because we vibrational beings, you know what I'm saying? We all vibrate on a certain frequency level. And it's so fast you can't even see it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like when you die. This is the best question. This is the most asked question out of the whole human race. What happens when we die?
Right,
you know?
right.
And people fear death because this book has instilled so much fear into people, because if they're not living by these laws in this book, then they're going to hell. They're going to be tortured. And,
right.
You know what I'm saying? And burned for eternity. That's some bullshit. A creator, your mama is your creator. Do you think she would send you to hell if she loved you?
Right.
If your creator loves you the way he said or she said they do, then it's not gonna be no pain and anguish and, you know what I'm saying, no torture. You know what I'm saying?
You live the bad part of your life over and over again for eternity.
You follow the divine laws, which is you got the right to eat. You know what I'm saying? You got the right to create. You know, once you figure out that you create, I'll put it this way. I believe of this earth, the black woman is God. Flat out. Because without her, it wouldn't be no us.
Okay.
Without your mama, you wouldn't be here.
Okay.
Period.
Right. True.
And you gotta figure, it's alpha and omega. It's male and female.
Without the dad, too, though. Because the dad put that in the mama to get it.
No, now they got the technology. You don't need a man to impregnate a woman. This is where the story of Jesus come from. The Immaculate Conception with the Virgin Mary. You hear me? It come from Egypt, 4,000 years before the Virgin Mary was even thought of. With Osset, Osar, and Heru, or Horus, Isis, and Osiris. That's the Trinity. The Father, the Mother, and the Son. Osiris him and his brother was into it. Set, which we would call the devil, he was bad and Osiris was good. He God and Set is the devil. Because Set cut his brother Osiris up into 13 pieces and spread it all across, I believe it was either Egypt or the world. Egypt or the world. And his wife, Osiris' wife, Isis or Set.
And what is them, gods?
Yeah, this is just a story.
Okay.
I don't believe this is real, but this is just a story. This is where the story of Jesus come from. She had to impregnate herself with a golden phallus. Basically, she impregnated herself with the god Osiris. In turn, she had a child named Heru or Horus. But in reality, Horus was the spirit of his father, which is Osiris. So Osiris was reborn into Heru or Horus. She made that happen. That was Immaculate Conception. He was dead and she had a child by a dead man. The story of Jesus tells us that he was born in a manger by the Virgin Mary. Mary never had intercourse. I put it this way. Mary would have been killed if it wasn't for Joseph, because they had a child out of wedlock. Back then, you would get stoned for that.
Right.
So he had to make up something because they weren't married and they had intercourse. They wouldn't tell you that Jesus got siblings because Joseph had another wife. But an archangel named Gabriel came to them and told them everything they needed to do. You know what I'm saying? So,
hey, what is it, Michael or something?
Hey, Gabriel.
Yeah, Jesus, bro.
All of the archangels, all of their names end in El. El stands for God, like the Elohim. You know what I'm saying? Elohim. It was many names given for the God. Lord Thoth, he reigned in Atlantis for 50,000 years. He was their ruler. He's the one who brought us writing, scriptures, health aid, which we call doctors. You know what I'm saying? He brought us all that. His name is Lord Thoth, however you want to pronounce it. But that was the reign of Atlantis, and they ended up falling. We know them to be sunken underwater. The lost city of Atlantis.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was before Sumerian and Babylonian days. And then came Kemet. You know, Kemet is on my arm, which is Egypt. All these names these continents have is man-made by Europeans. It's just all set up for the European to rule. You know, the Moors and a lot of blacks gave these white folks knowledge. And in turn, they used our own knowledge against us to control us.
True.
And religion, Christianity is one of the ones. When Constantine had the Council of Nicaea, they had the agreement of what the story of Jesus would be like. And this is what it's like. So Constantine killed anybody, including Constantine killed his mother and his brother because they would not accept this new religion. He was killing everybody. He wiped out everybody. And the new babies that were born, they had to be taught that this was the truth. And this is how we got stuck with this bullshit ass religion. And our people following it. They get scared people getting scared if they drop their Bible. They think they gonna go to hell if they drop their Bible. You know what I'm saying? It's just sick. It ain't
like my brother was over here telling me and my mother, people need to repent right now because God is coming. From all the stuff that's going on in the world today, with the hurricanes and Harvey, Irma, and he was stating some other stuff that he even looked up on and saying like ever since the eclipse came, this done happened and so many people done died and this is stuff like, that happened over in like Asia and, across the seas or whatever. Yeah. And he was just saying like, he had broke it down, man. You had to hear him talk about it, but he was telling everybody need to repent.
Ain't no such thing as the end of this world. This world would never explode. It would never die. It's gonna always remain here. Only thing that's gonna ever be extinct is species. Whether it's the humans, it's a certain type of animal or a plant or a tree or whatever it's gonna be. That's the only thing that can extinct because this planet is over billions of years old. They starting to find their bones that's over 1 million years ago.
Right.
And it's not no fake hoax shit. It's shit that they won't tell the public.
Right.
This
is
a
lot of
the giants. The giants are real reptilians. That's a whole nother subject. You know what I'm saying? But what we need to really get together is I've been trying to tell people this whole year that it was gonna be a natural disaster that pertained to water because they setting up FEMA camps. And the FEMA camps are gonna be the New World Order. The New World Order is for them depleting the population. They sending out red and blue letters to rich white folks and poor white folks, trying to see if you get the blue letter and you accept their terms and conditions, then they don't pose you as a threat. If they feel like you're a threat, you'll get a red letter, meaning they gonna kill you if you don't cooperate.
That's called
the red and blue letter. You can look that up too, goddamn. They sending it out. It's for the FEMA camps. They want to make sure people got insurance on their houses so they can build these motherfucking camps. It's basically finna be the Black Holocaust. In a sense, because they trying to get the population of the world to 500 million people.
500 million?
500 million. Just the continent of Africa alone, I believe, can hold 7.8 billion people. Now, that's a lot of fucking killing that you finna do to this human species.
Yeah.
But it's a reason behind it. They've been trying to do this for years, but so many kids, so many people been having babies, it's hard. So what they gonna do is flood everything. They gonna flood this shit. Like they controlling the weather with the it's a thing that fuck with the fault lines. It's a company called HAARP, HAARP. Look it up. They fucking with the weather. Right. That damn hurricane in Texas, that was caused by our own government. That company is funded by NASA.
You think that's true? Like, I mean, or is that what they want us to believe?
Nah, that's some shit they killing people for saying this. It's straight man-made. The weather can happen naturally, but they have got the technology to alter it by using our fault lines. the main one, the San Andreas fault line that run through California. If anything, California gonna be in the water by the time we know it. You give it another 20, 30 years, we not gonna have this. Earth is not gonna be like it was. It's gonna be a one world government, one dictator, and his name is Lucifer.
Like what's that state that is built on top of water?
Hawaii.
The city, New Orleans. Yeah. That's why they have the graves on top and not up underground.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy, and that's why that what they had, that first natural disaster they had there in New Orleans.
Yeah, Katrina.
The Katrina, yeah.
President flew over and he didn't even stop. He didn't even land to speak to them people. Bush is another man. He a part of the Skull and Bones Lodge of the Masons. And they control a lot of the shit in this world. They next to the Rothschild.
That's one of the men that owns the country.
Yeah, Rothschild owns the world. And next to the Queen of England and Rothschild, they own the world.
Rothschild and Rosenberg or something. Yeah. Another order.
And that started back in 1933. Here we had a bill that was passed called House Joint Resolution 192. You can look it up. They took all our gold and silver and traded us with Federal Reserve notes, which are these. These are debt instruments. We using these until the true currency, which is gold and silver, come back into place. When they come back into circulation is when we can get rid of these.
Okay. That's something like with them Bitcoins. Well, that's a whole nother subject. I ain't gonna be on Bitcoin.
Yeah, Bitcoin are different. That's electronic money.
Yeah.
But it's worth a lot.
Yeah,
you can trade it in.
That's something new. I'm gonna do a video on that too. But so what do you think? Who are we? Are we Hebrews? Or we
Moors?
We Moors.
Or the elephant? Yeah. We the Moors people, because in the Black Laws Dictionary, Moor means black or dark skin, and that's our nationality. We're not Hebrews because Hebrews is another European-made name. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Israelite, They didn't call themselves Israelites just because they from Israel. They made that up. You know what I'm saying? Because, Ite is meaning anything. You could be a Garveyite or a Bushite. Basically, you're a follower of that person. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
That's why I give credit to Marcus Garvey, Noble Drew Ali, Elijah Muhammad, Malcolm X, Farrakhan. The list go on. You know what I'm saying? Dr. Ali Muhammad, you know what I'm saying? Taj Tariq Bey, Dr. Ben, Dr. Clark. All these scholars. Even Umar Johnson, I give him his credit. Brother Polite. I give these brothers their credit because without them, we still be in the dark. Even Dick Gregory.
Now they still, I don't know about Brother Polite. I don't know. Well, I was just looking on, YouTube like everybody else. And they were saying Brother Polite was a fake or something. I don't know.
They say he don't send out his product when they order it. You know what I'm saying? When they order shit from his website, he don't send it out. He just taking people money. And for real, they hating on the brother because ain't nobody ever not got their stuff who ordered something. The FBI and all them other niggas is trying to shut him down because he's so damn intelligent. He was one of the Dr. Malachi Z. York's top students.
Okay.
He looked at him as his son. He ended up marrying one of his daughters. You know what I'm saying? Brother Polite he got a lot of power behind him. And he speak what he know. He studied. He studied them books to the T. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I agree with him on damn near 100% of what he speak about. I wouldn't even knock that brother because he done shed some light on me. You know what I'm saying? I took in that. And that's all I got to say about him. You know what I'm saying? He 100. But I give credit to them people. They books, you know what I'm saying? They got valid sources. These people that been to Egypt and seen the walls and made their own conclusion. That this book, this Bible and the Quran It's basically, it comes straight from the source, which is Egypt. But they misinterpreted it. They didn't get the information right. They tried to put it down and didn't get it right.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's used as a tool to mentally control the masses. You wonder why churches, you know what I'm saying, when they collect money, they don't have to pay taxes. A church don't have to pay no taxes. You wonder why they the greediest motherfuckers in the world, bro. They putting their hand out and basically saying that's not enough. I still need more. They worse than Uncle Sam, Uncle Tom. You know what I'm saying? Them motherfucking Christians, these pastors, they get paid not to speak. They are.
You said not to speak?
Not to speak about certain shit. You know what I'm saying? They agents of the state. When they marry somebody they say, the power invested in me through the state of Missouri.
All right.
Or whatever. You know what I'm saying? New Jersey. You know what I'm saying? The state of, they getting paid by the state. You know, and it's kind of sad because they keeping us in the dark. This information needs to be put out here. You know, the black man is on top. The black man created everything. Whites hate this. Whites hate black people for no reason. You don't see nowhere in history where blacks were straight being violent toward whites unless they were doing it first.
Mm-hmm.
The Black Panther Party started for a reason. They wasn't having it no more. They were gonna take a stand. Now we got the new Black Panther Party. It's coming back. These races are showing themselves. They starting to show themselves. These white bigots is showing themselves. And it's fucked up because they out here.
Donald Trump.
They straight out here. You know what I'm saying? They letting us know what's up. The KKK is up.
All right.
It's straight. That organization should have been shut down right after the 60s. It should have been shut down. It should be shut down. It shouldn't even be. It should be illegal to be a KKK member.
Just as much power they put in shutting down the Black Panthers, they should have did the same thing with the KKK.
Yeah.
But we know who's running the country, though.
The KKK.
Exactly.
The motherfuckers, the FBI. And the president is a puppet. Our people be out here standing in line to vote when that shit don't even matter. You honestly think they gonna consider what you want?
I believe that.
The presidents have been picked
They know
10 years in advance.
Exactly. I was just gonna say that. They know who's gonna be president before
Before
any of this happened.
Before two presidents have their term ended, they already know who that next third president gonna be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's all a system, and we a part of it. We born into this bullshit. You born with a number. Just like when a nigga go to jail, he gets a number for his cell. When you born, you get a social security number. We prisoners. You gotta escape this shit, man. This is Babylon. We need to get we need to get out of Babylon. Like the movie 2012, when the world ended, it had that major, the crust was destabilizing. And it basically caused the world to turn all our monuments, our buildings, our concrete, everything was underwater. It's basically God was destroying the earth and starting new. It was only one place that ended up rising at the end of the movie. One place ended up rising, and that's where humanity started, and that's where it's going to finish. And that's Africa. You know, before the continent was broke up, before it was broke up into all these different pieces of land, it was just one big ass piece of land. And where civilization started first was directly along the equator, which is now what we call Africa. We call the sun, we the children of the sun. Our hair is a great conductor.
Right.
For the sun.
Like that.
You get energy. You get your energy from that sun.
Yeah.
God provided us with
my energy.
Fruits and vegetables.
The strength is in my hair.
Yeah, it ain't no way in hell a person should have to pay for food when it's already grown on this earth by itself.
Right.
You don't even have to grow it. You don't have to grow it. It's already here in places. Yeah, and it's gonna keep coming. Ain't no such thing as seasons across seas. In Africa, you don't have no different seasons. They took us so far away from our homeland to where we have no choice but to be fucked up.
And we got to believe what they tell us.
Believe, and I hate that word belief because that's all people is running with when it comes to this Bible. They going off of faith, belief, instead of the truth, the proof.
Because people look for somebody to pray to.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Somebody that can answer their prayer.
But you gotta figure, if we was back in with the first people that was ever on this planet, I guarantee you they wasn't talking about no Jesus, no book, no none of this. They was born with their spirituality. Them beings, they were so they so higher vibrational beings to where they can transform, they can warp themselves from dimension to dimension. They can take this physical body, this shell that they got in this lifetime, they can take it with them through all the different dimensions. We done been so dumbed down. That's not even a common conversation no more. Us death. What happens after death was probably so common back in the day that it wasn't nothing to be afraid of. You get what I'm saying? We straight look at death as if it's death. Ain't no such thing. Time is an illusion. Once you in that astral world, it's called astral projection. It's you, your spirit form. You can come out of your body, turn around and see your body laying in the bed. This is a deep meditation. That's all it is. You gotta figure.
Like after death or something.
Yeah.
Your soul
your dream is. People say dreams are fake, but in reality, we multi-dimensional beings, meaning we in more than one place at one time. It's just our consciousness only allow us to perceive where we at, where our soul is at a given time. So, let's say when you go to sleep, your physical body is in your house, it's in your bed, but your consciousness is somewhere else. You somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? If you don't ever take your consciousness with you into your dream, that means you won't remember your dream. But if you take your consciousness with you, you're able to remember your dreams. It's called lucid dreaming.
Shit, dude. If you do that, what that mean then? Because I have a dream and forget it. Shit. So when I wake up, like, damn, I had a cold dream. I can't remember. I was doing something.
That means you was just drunk while you sleep. You ever seen somebody in your dream that you know in real life?
Drunk, yeah.
You ever seen somebody you know in real life in your dreams?
Yeah.
All right. Let's say you see somebody in real life that you know, like your homegirl, your partner. You see them in your dream. That means y'all both are dreaming and y'all in the same place. But if they don't recognize you, that means they drunk. I would call them drunk sleeping because they didn't bring their conscience with them. Their consciousness. It's crazy how it is, but you can go and straight ask that person, damn, I straight had a dream like, and they gonna say, yeah, the out of body experience.
Yeah.
It's your spirit or your soul, whatever you want to call it, is being in another place at another time, while your physical body is where you went to sleep at.
Okay.
When you lay down in the bed, that's the wrong way to sleep because people it's like Buddhists, they can go into what's called a deep meditation to where they can be in that meditative state for weeks without having to eat or drink anything because they not there. Their mind is somewhere else. Their consciousness is gone. It's either in another dimension or it's goddamn. They can be anywhere. They can go to other planets. They can go to the sun without getting burnt up. You can probably fly around the world in 20 seconds. Whatever you think. I put it this way. Your thoughts in this world, in this 3D dimension, it manifests in them other dimensions.
Okay.
So this is why they say if you don't know how to protect yourself from seeing scary things like a scary movie, when you see that image end up manifesting or coming to life in a lower dimension. And that's something you gotta face when you die. You know, if you on this planet, if you did more bad than good, you gotta suffer. Your mind will be playing tricks on you. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah.
It'll straight play tricks on you, like you know what I'm saying? You gotta deal with that mentally. Like people who come here and they come to this planet, they come in as a baby.
Yeah, damn, size limit reach.
Oh.
Damn.